Okay, I thought I'd record a little tutorial about how I do my striped cakes. So what you do is you just start off by getting your icing on your cake. It doesn't have to be neat, because the first thing is just the normal smoothing process. And I start with a very thick layer of icing on here. Like this is probably 1/2 inch thick. So you just basically go around and you want to just fill in any gaps in the icing. It doesn't have to be perfectly smooth because we're going to do a lot more smoothing. So I'd say that's pretty good. Maybe one more time around just to make sure all of our gaps are filled. And then we're going to take this scraper that has these teeth cut into it. And you're just going to put that flat on your cake board and kind of push it into the cake. This does not have to be chilled for this step. In fact, it might be a little bit easier if it's not chilled. And you just go once around, get rid of your excess. And then I like to go so that the stripes are actually touching, like I want to see cake showing through. So it might take you 2 or 3 times around to get your teeth all the way in. Now we're going to end up chilling the cake. And you don't have to worry about any of these little jagged edges right now because we're going to do a lot more smoothing again. And then one more thing before you put it in the fridge or freezer to chill is you do want to clean up the top edge a little bit, because once it's chilled, it's going to be a little bit harder to smooth out perfectly. And again, this doesn't even have to be smoothed out perfectly across the top. When I'm doing a top border, which I am going to do on this cake, I don't worry about stuff like this because it's going to be covered up. What I do worry about is that top. And this is wide enough to make a smooth pass across the top without worrying about those edges. So I just use my scraper and do like one pass that way, one pass this way, and usually that will get you smooth enough. If you want to keep going, then have at it. Okay, so after your cake has chilled for about 15 minutes, so the white icing is fairly firm, you're just going to come in with a bag of your red icing and just pipe in, you know, semi as neat as possible. Enough red icing to fill all those stripes. And then you're going to come in with your scraper again, and this is where you're going to want to start making it as neat as possible. And your first couple times around, you know, is not going to be perfect, but the more you smooth it, the better it will be. So once you get it semi-smooth, you'll see like there's a lot of red smears here and there's a little bit of white smears in your red. That's okay, we're going to fix it. So what you're going to want to do is get a paper towel and just make sure the edge of your scraper is completely clean of any red icing. Because now what we're going to do is we're going to start digging into the base layer of the icing to get a completely smooth, clean surface to get rid of any of the smears. You might have to go 2 or 3 times around to do that, but you can see already with one, it's already cleaned up a lot of those. And then clean off your scraper again, each pass with your paper towel so that your edge is clean and you're not smearing more colors where they don't belong. Clean off again. And you kind of want to put a little bit of pressure on it so that you're not just smearing icing around, that you're actually kind of digging into the surface and scraping off a light layer of icing. One more clean, and I think this will be my final pass. See, we have some right there we want to try to get rid of. Okay, so I'm going to call that good. It's not, you know, some of these lines aren't super, super perfect, but sometimes it's best to just leave well enough alone. So we're good there. And that's basically how you do your stripes.